Samson Dauda's back. What's up, Samson? How you doing, man?
I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. How's it going? How's it going?
Good. Listen, don't tell Fuad, but I'm drinking from a species nutrition
Oh
bottle.
no,
I'm
no,
I'm
never doing
sorry.
that. No, never do that. That's not cool.
So how you feeling? I mean, you did fucking awesome and two really, really rough shows.
Yeah, I mean, I'm feeling great, man. Honestly, going to them shows, it was always a case of okay, it's not just for me to find out okay, how do I really stack up when I go against those top guys, but
Yeah.
also to show the world that look, we're here, we're serious, something we got something to bring to the table.
Yeah.
So it was a lot of things I wanted to prove going in that show, both shows as well. So I felt like we managed to achieve that, and I couldn't feel the moon over it.
Yeah, man. You certainly made a splash. Everybody knows your name now, that's for sure. And you saw I did a recap with Johnny Jackson and Jason Owens, and all three of us basically had the same opinion that a few more pounds and you could win, and you could win the whole thing.
Man, which is crazy, man. It's crazy to think, especially when we were just a year ago to be here now and hearing that.
And to my credit, 2 years ago I said it.
That's funny, that's true, because I know obviously we've done a lot of shows in Europe and stuff like that. So guys in the USA, they never really saw us up front to actually really analyze us very well. So I mean, that's one of the reasons people are like, oh, why did you do that? I don't know, why did you stick it out? Because you're very credit for the Olympia.
Yeah.
But this is exactly why we wanted to really come out to the States and like show what we are, show who we are.
Yeah.
So that's why the reason why we decided to do the Arnold. It was like, look, this is your opportunity to really come out in the States and see what you're made of and get a gauge for where you are compared to those other guys,
And you fucking held your own, that's for sure.
Thanks, man.
You're definitely you're clearly in the top 10, 15 in the world as of right now. Right. Because if you think about it, that lineup, which you already know, was an Olympia lineup without Hottie and Big Ramy.
Yeah.
That's pretty much an Olympia lineup. But no, man, it was fantastic, and I was like rooting for you, the whole way. Now, so what's your plan? Are you qualified for the Olympia?
So we qualified for the Olympia already. I mean, we did it from winning Prague last year. So now it's
that's right. That's right.
Yeah. So like you guys said, now it's about putting a few pounds on in the right places and really sort of put that size on because we know what we can do in the space of months. I mean, between winning Prague and Romania, November last year, to basically coming off the stage, having a rebound, going back in prep, and then showing up in stage at Arnold. We've managed to put 10 pounds on my physique.
That's fantastic.
Like that, Yeah. So you can physically see the difference between then and now. So it almost feels like, okay, seeing what you're able to do in that time.
Yeah.
What would you do in 8 months?
That's right. That's right.
So this is what we're going into. This is what we're going to find out and what we really want to push to find out. So whatever physique we brought to the Arnold and Boston, will be completely changed by the time it comes to December.
Yeah, obviously, because you definitely made huge strides in those only few months that you had to do it. And I don't know if you watched the whole thing I did with Johnny Jackson and Jason Owens, but I actually said, and I stick to what I say. You remind me of a Sean Roden 2011, 2012.
Oh, nice.
When it was like where people were saying this guy could be Mr. Olympia if he just answered the pound, so on and so forth. Yep. You remind me you're like in that spot right now where Sean Roden was making noise and then all of a sudden, boom. That's gonna be you, man. I'm telling you, it's the handwriting's on the wall.
Oh, thanks, man. Thanks,
man. Of course. Now, was this the first time you were out to the States?
Yeah, I did the States back in 2019. I did Chicago and then I did Vancouver back in 2019. Obviously, just started out really trying to make our scene in the bodybuilding world. And I think in Chicago I placed as 7th. So didn't really obviously get that much limelight at the time since then. And obviously, where we wanted to do a lot of shows in 2020 before we were planning on doing New York and a few more shows like that. And then the whole lockdown and Corona thing came along, so we couldn't do anything since then. Yeah. So as soon as this opportunity came up, even though we already qualified for it all, it was like grab it by both hands and don't let it go, man. You got to really go show up. Even the judges, I think after the Arnold UK last year, the judges, he came up to me and he just said straight to me, like, look, you need to go to the States and compete. And I was like, okay, yeah, that's the plan. Do it.
Yeah, definitely. Now, did you get a chance to go to look around Boston when you were there, or?
I mean, the thing is, we went to Ohio first.
Right.
right? And we came. I think we flew out the Monday before the show, and we sort of thought we had a few days to like enjoy Ohio and look around and everything else. But no one tells you nothing. There's nothing in Ohio.
Oh, it sucks. Yeah, it's boring.
Quiet. Like Ohio is like a quiet city.
No.
So we flew in like on Monday, and then we did our food shopping and prep. Did our meal prep for the week, and then we're like, okay, let's go see Ohio. So we're walking around the street. It was just dead quiet. There was nothing to do. No. And we're like, what the hell was going on? What's going on here? You know, so we found ourselves going to bed like 7 p.m. in the evening because we didn't have anything else to do. Yeah. And then come the Wednesday before the Arnold, obviously everybody actually started to land up. Everybody's now in town. And all of a sudden, the whole city comes to life. Yeah. And we're like, oh, this is more like it. But then the minute the Arnold was over, by the Sunday, it was quiet again.
That's it.
Yeah. You know, so I found out really strange. And then when we did Boston, like, you know, we flew back to the UK before we flew back to Boston. So we literally came from Ohio back to the UK for a few days and then flew back to Boston the Friday before the show, literally the day before the show, the morning before the show, you know. So we didn't even get a chance to see Boston. And Boston was such a lively city compared to Ohio. We felt like we were kicking ourselves. We're going, that's the city we should have been early to. That's the one we should have visited more on time with.
Yeah, Boston's like a small New York City. Yeah. Absolutely.
You really felt like it, you know. And you almost felt like, oh man, that was the one you should have spent more time to, you know, come in a bit earlier for and stay a bit longer for, because it was live, man. Boston looked live.
That's all right. Wait till you do the Olympia and you're in Vegas. Oh, you want to talk about live? Forget it.
That's gonna be an extreme one for me. Never been in Vegas, so that's definitely gonna be like, wow.
Oh, I've been there 6 times. That should tell you something.
Yeah.
And we're going again. I'm going again in September.
Oh, serious, man.
Yeah. So
I'm looking forward to.
So you actually flew back to the UK and then flew to Boston. You were able to keep your conditioning with no problem?
Oh yeah. I mean,
wow.
This is one thing that we learned, like, you know, understand, like when we did like multiple shows last year, it wasn't just to qualify for Olympia. You know, I've just like, you know, I was working with Milos and we wanted to learn about a lot of my body, use that timing. So we did 5 shows back to back to back. And each time we played on the condition, played on water retention. I flew from place to place, you know, so we kind of had a guess of how my body responded and how does it react. So when we realized, I think we flew from the UK to Egypt the day before the show as well. And we landed there, you know, I think we landed, it was a delayed flight, all the whole crazy, most, you know, the most stressful flight condition you can think of. And then when we landed there, we go back to the hotel room. Immediately, he was like, okay, let's have a look at what you look at. And he looked at me, that didn't affect you at all. You know, you're still just as hard, just as dry.
It's amazing.
So, you know, something that we sort of knew that, okay, I didn't retain water in flights. So
that's
we
fantastic.
like, okay. So, you know, when we did this one, it's not because I intentionally wanted to fly back to the UK and everything else. We just had, obviously, circumstances and stuff that we had to go back for and then come back in it. So it was like, okay, what are you going to do? And we're like, look, we know for well I don't retain water in flights and everything else, and I can maintain my conditioning anyway. So it's like, yeah, let's do it, you know.
All right, cool. No, that's definitely, because I remember a couple of guys, you know, would have to do like a sauna and diuretics and so on and so forth. Oh, yeah. So you had a bit of a tragedy though, in the last time I spoke to you. You lost your other trainer, John Meadows.
Yeah.
And that was a huge tragedy. What made you go with Milos after? Because I'm sure there was plenty of guys that you could have went for.
Yeah, I mean, what happened was basically, you know, obviously, for me, when I was introduced to John by Fuad, you know, coming off the end of last season, the 2020 season and everything else. And, you know, he sort of told me that, look, he's you know, been coached by John before and everything. So he had recommended him. So when we sort of started working, at that point, you know, I was literally at that crossroad where I was thinking, you know what, I don't know if I'm really going to be able to make it in bodybuilding after all. You know, things weren't going right. I just couldn't nail it. You know, everything, there was just a lot of things to play at the time. And I was thinking, you know what, this year will probably be my last year. If I don't make something happen now, I can't see me doing another year of bodybuilding. It's just not working out. So, you know, Fuad obviously recommended I go with John and everything else. And as soon as John saw me and I said, obviously update videos and stuff like that, John basically just went nuts. He was like, man, you really don't know how much tools you have and what you're capable of. You know what? Trust me, give me the year. Let me go to the off season. You go to the show, and so people will shock the world. You know. And John himself incited that belief in me with time and time. He keeps telling me, you know, how good I am, how good I'm progressing, how well I'm. And then with time went on, you know, I sort of started picking on myself from that whole point of it and saying, actually, maybe he does see something. Maybe there really is something there, and you know, maybe we can make this work. So then we go into the prep. And obviously everything is like just sticking together like clockwork. Everything is just working out perfectly. And then we get to 8 weeks out from the Arnold UK, and obviously John passed. And I remember talking to him literally the Friday before we got the news on Sunday. And it was a big knock, you know. It really sort of like, it was like a shock of, nah, you know, this, I can't believe this is happening. It can't be true. It has to be some kind of mistake, you know. It has to be something, you know. But, you know, when as time went on, for me, at that point, I was just like, yeah, that's it. I'm not doing this. I'm done. I can't carry on this point anymore.
Right.
So, you know, a lot of people then send me messages and they talk to me and say, look, you know, John had this belief in you. He knew you could do more with it. You knew what you guys would bring. You guys have already worked this far, you know, together trying to bring out his package. You know, you got to do it for him. You got to really finish this journey. So I was like, okay, you know what? If I'm going to do this and carry on going, I need somebody who knows how John works, who knows John's philosophy. And I remember most of the time, you know, John spoke to me before, and obviously he said about, he spoke with Milos about me, and, you know, they've sort of discussed the situation and everything else I was going through at the time. So I just thought, you know what, it'd be the right person to reach to amongst all the coaches that were out there. So, you know what, if I'm going to make this work, I need somebody that knows how John works and knows a bit about me to kind of move forward from that. So I basically just messaged Milos and say, look, this is the situation. Obviously, I'm 8 weeks out. This strategy just happened. I'm looking to step off. If you can't help me, you know, can you step in? And right away, you know, Milos he came in on the ball and he just, you know, we just started working, and immediately we just clicked and things just started happening. And then obviously we did shows. And even then he never saw me in the flesh. Mm-hmm. But he didn't really have an idea. But I think when we then stepped on stage at the Honda UK against Nathan, and we were battling him on stage, he was kind of like, holy, whoa, I didn't know you were like that and everything else. And from there, it was just basically, okay, let's go for it. We're going to get that Olympia qualification no matter what it takes.
Yeah. Well, I never had the chance to, I never had the privilege to interview Milos, but I don't know what it is, but he gets his hands on a bodybuilder and he literally, it's a complete 180. He did it with you. He did it with Regan Grimes. He did it with what's his name? Oh God, what the hell's his name? Max Charles. And I don't know what happened. I know that I understand they're not working together anymore. Yeah. And then Max just goes right back to being Max, you know. And I don't know, you know, who knows, you know, what happens. But he gets his hands on you, and it's like I don't know what he knows or what he doesn't know, but it's a huge difference.
Oh yeah,
huge difference.
He really knows how to work with the athlete. Like, you know, when we did show, like I did a show against Regan after the Arnold, and it was in Egypt and everything else. And we sat there after the show, we were chatting and like go back and forth, and we realized that both his strategy has for both of us are so extremely different. We couldn't even sit there and compare. You know, he was completely catered to each one of us, two separate bodybuilders completely, you know. Whereas Regan was training the day before the show, I was resting the day before the show. Whereas Regan was having, you know, he wasn't eating as much carbs. I was eating a hell of a lot of carbs. Where, you know, it was so completely drastic between two of us. And we sat there and wow, you know, that's how you know a man of a good coach. He isn't just, okay, this is what I get my guys to do. This is okay. This is what I do with this guy specifically to bring him this way. This is what I do with this guy specifically to do it this way.
Right.
So it really does sort of focus on each other individually and caters to what makes them tick.
Yeah, and it shows. It obviously definitely shows. Did you ever see Milos when he's on RX Muscle and he's debating Dave Palumbo?
Oh yeah.
He loses me. I'm like, I don't know what the hell they're talking about. Sometimes I try to rewind it and then like watch it again. I go, I'm still fucking lost. I don't know.
Man. And believe me, he's that passionate as well when he speaks to us. You know, he's so passionate and so expressive on what he feels about bodybuilding. When he sees something going right, he's really descriptive about it. And that's just who he is. That's really who he is. You know, he doesn't fake that. He doesn't make that. That's just how much he loves the sport and loves actually bringing his guys in.
Does he make you do those giant sets or no?
Yeah, he does sometimes, because especially like when we're training that close to a show, because most of my training through the offseason and everything else, he doesn't temper with too much, because he knows that, okay, I'll figure out what work and training style. Because when I came to him, he didn't just look at me and just say, okay, scrap everything. This is what we're doing from now on.
Right.
He looked at everything that's been working and everything that hasn't been working. Mm-hmm. And he's just slipped in those little places that, you know, I needed to tune up and change in, you know. So training was one of the things where some of my training he changed up. Some of them he said, look, they work, leave it on leg. Like leg training, my legs were growing insane anyway. He was like, okay,
Yeah.
You know, things like back and shoulders, he's like, okay, we gotta switch things up because we need to improve this part of it.
Mm-hmm.
So he kind of works that way, and he does, you know, sleep with the giant sets and all that in there, and it does. He's a killer.
Yeah, if for people that don't know, I mean, people know what supersets is and drop sets is, and unless you're a fan of Milos, you really don't know what a giant set is. So can you for people who are listening or watching and don't know, can you explain what a giant set is and explain how the hell you feel after you're done with one of his giant sets?
So a giant set is basically a set that will entail from anything from 4 to 5 different workouts, and just for one single set, you go from neither squatting and then lunging and then leg extension and then, you know, hack squatting in the one set. And then you literally go bam, 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 bam and hit all of them. And by the end of that one alone, you feel like, oh my God, I've done a whole freaking workout. Yeah. Then you have to go back and start it all over again for the next set. So it feels like death. It feels genuinely like death because you're doing it and you're thinking, how can this still be going on? How can this carry on? How can this be even a plausible workout?
Yeah.
But it really is that painful and that agonizing, and it breaks you. It really does.
Yeah, I saw once when he was training Sergio Oliva Jr. and I was watching, I think it was his Instagram, and he had him do a giant set, and halfway through it looked like he was going to pass out.
Yeah,
I'm like, Jesus, I would have been dead already. Holy shit!
Oh yeah,
you know?
That's definitely Milos through and through, man. Even when he said, "Oh, you know, we're going to do a light pump up before the show. We don't want to go too crazy," he gets carried away.
Yeah.
Throw some more of these in and some of these, and I'm like, dude, I got more than a pump right now. Yeah, just give a little bit more. And that's he definitely does go for it.
That's fantastic, dude. So, what did you think between William Bonac and Brandon? Do you think Brandon should have won in the Arnold? Because a lot of people think Bonac should have won, me included.
I mean, honestly, to be fair, you know, I was standing right there, and there's no knock on any of the guys. They were spot on.
No, those guys were good. That lineup was solid.
They were wow, you know, seriously. Especially when you're standing right there looking at it, they was just something else, you know.
Yeah, they were coming to win. There's no question.
There was no question of anybody, you know, anybody could think that they were all peeled, they were all ready. They came into battle this show. It was no holding back. It was no spar for this one. And, you know, and standing there basically after the pre-judging, our premise was the same as everybody else. You know, we were standing up there watching, and we thought, man, Williams got this. He really, he looked not just improved from what he looked like last, but he just looked immense and dense, and he was at his best. You know, you looked at him and go, whoa, what the hell?
Yeah, he really looked amazing.
Yeah, so you know that was our premise. That's what we knew coming off the pre-judging was like, okay, he's the guy that is taking the show. You know. Mm-hmm. So obviously finals where no physiques didn't change that much from that, it was more of clarity, okay, he was going to win it, you know. So until the results came out, and I was like, okay, hey, maybe I have to go watch the show again from outside and looking in. But, you know, for me, it was, I looked at that and I thought he was winning the show.
Yeah, I thought so too. A lot of people thought so. Oh, and there's Severus.
Oh, yeah, there we go.
My guy, my pit bull Hercules is 14 years old.
Yeah. Oh wow.
And all he does now is eat, sleep, and shit. I don't even think he could hear the doorbell anymore because he don't even come downstairs, and he's getting so old, bro. So old. And you know, it's inevitable, you know, but
I know. But I mean 14 years, that's definitely he's lived.
Oh yeah, and it's inevitable, but
yeah,
you know, he's not in pain or anything like that. But already me and the wife are like, well, you know, he's going to go. And what dog do we get next? Because we have another one. We have another pit.
Oh, right. Yeah.
We have a white one, a female. And like, I was like, and she wants.
Also.
Yeah. And I was like, I don't know, man. I was like, neither one of us have a lot of time to spend with the dog. Like, I think I need a big, lazy, fat, like bull mastiff or something. I don't know.
Yeah, because they are definitely attention wise, and just being in your presence is what they live for. And people don't realize how much you can't, you know, most dogs, you probably leave them for 5 hours and go to work.
That's mine. Yeah.
You ain't doing that with the kangaroos.
Yeah. Okay, good. That's what I thought.
No. Yeah, they require your attention all the time. They want to be around you all the time. Yeah. And if you leave them for that long, you come back and find your place completely trashed.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think a bull mastiff is the way we're going to go because it's big, it looks intimidating, and it's just fucking lazy.
Oh, yeah.
You know.
That's definitely.
Yeah. All right, so back to bodybuilding. I love dogs too, but back to bodybuilding. So now we got what's coming up now. We got the New York Pro, and we have Arnold Brazil.
Yep.
Are you going to be at any of these?
No. For now, we basically shut it down to the Olympia.
That's it. You're not going to go to any expos or nothing like that. You're just going to concentrate on the Olympia.
I mean, Hostile, obviously, because I'm with Hostile and everything else. If they require me to, I would love to go to all. Honestly, I love bodybuilding. I love watching the shows. I don't like, as much as I don't like just hanging out and just watching them online. But like, okay, I'm not being involved in them like that. I like being there, actually seeing it for the first time anyway. So there might be a chance that I would actually go watch a few of them shows face to face. I mean, that was definitely probably going to happen. So at the same time, if there's any expos or anything like that, also obviously going to be a booth in, I'll definitely be there front and center. That's what we do. That's what I live for.
Yeah, absolutely. I got a question, and if it's too personal, you don't have to answer it. It's just curious. It's just curiosity. When you get a coach, a prep coach, somebody as elite as a Milos or a John Meadows or a Chad Nichols or Chris Aceto, the elite of the elite. Yeah. How does it work? Do they get a percentage of your winnings, or do you pay them, or is it both?
No, man. It's just like anybody else hiring a coach, man. There's no difference like that. We don't agree. I mean, I can't speak for any other coaches. I don't know, but for us, it's a simple. We pay them upfront or monthly or anything, and that's it. You just work with them. There is no okay, you get a percentage of this or anything like that. It's just they're here to help you. You pay them, you pay them how much you're supposed to pay them, and you just carry on from there.
Yeah, because you remember when William Bonac had Neil Hill, and there was that whole falling out, and I think he was like taking a large percentage of his winnings or something to that effect. I mean, I don't know the whole deal, but I didn't know if that was every elite, if that's like standard or no. It's just.
Honestly, I don't think it's ever, because I mean, even like with John and everything else, it was never like that. I mean, John was even more John just loved bodybuilding. He really wanted to help me out, Yeah. As soon as he met me, he wasn't even concentrating on getting paid. He was just like, look, don't worry, we'll talk about that later. But now let's just get you in there. So when you hear obviously we know that Bill and Bonac situation, I don't know what the arrangement was.
Me neither.
What amount that will happen. Well, from the coaches I've had, that's never been a situation.
Okay, so it's just like any other prep coach. Only I'm sure they charge more because they're the best in the world. But
exactly,
okay, pretty cool, man. Pretty cool. And how's your lady doing?
Oh man, she's doing great. I mean, honestly, I think now she's probably just enjoying the fact that I no longer have to diet and compete and everything else, and we can finally be at home for everything. Because I don't know anybody who knows, any lady, when anyone has a lady that's that involved in their bodybuilding career, knows that is a freaking hard task.
Oh yeah.
It's very hard to be with a bodybuilder.
I go to Signature Fitness in Jersey, and Sean Clarita works out there. Yeah, and his wife is his training partner, and it's like he wouldn't be able to do it without her.
Yeah, and this is exactly what it's like. And you hear people say, "Oh yeah," but you say, "Oh I owe a lot to my partner," and they just think it's a blowing statement.
Yeah.
They generally don't know how realistic and how personal that statement is and how true it is. They do everything.
Yeah,
they have your corner from the moment you wake up to the moment you sleep. Every single ounce of the day, everything you do, they literally take it. Like I said, my partner, she's my training partner as well.
Yeah,
and she got me into bodybuilding. She literally got me started in bodybuilding.
Really?
Doing it right from the minute when I decided, I'll give bodybuilding a go. To where we are now. We've gone through every single prep, every single show, every single off season, everything. We've gone through every single part of it together. So she knows just as much as I do, and she knows everything I've ever done, every show I've ever done, everything. She's been there. So when you say someone is involved in it, and remember, bodybuilding we're not just always smiling and having fun all the time. A lot of it is bumping heads and like arguing and everything else. And to have a woman that can stick through that with you, it's a lot. You got to be a strong woman.
It's irreplaceable.
Oh yeah, 100%.
It's irreplaceable. Yeah, I at the gym I go to, Sean Clarita goes there, Akeem Williams and Justin Rodriguez, and I'm not taking anything away from Akeem Williams or Justin, but Sean Clarita works out like it's insane. Right. And I don't know if he would if his wife wasn't there pushing him, because she's pushing him. Yeah. And it's impressive. It really is. It's impressive.
I've seen some film career work out, and honestly, he's the one bodybuilder today that I say he works his ass off.
He really does.
I would love to train someone like that. He genuinely, every time I watch his, he posts his posters in training, I just think, God damn. How is that even possible, And he's a small dude. Yeah. The weight he's pushing is bigger than anything we can.
Yeah, he's 5'2".
Exactly. So him, I genuinely admire him and the way he trains. I genuinely look at him and go, man, I got to step my ass off. This dude is killing it.
Yeah, he's impressive. But I think he worked with John Meadows for a little bit too, actually.
Yeah.
I think everybody at one point probably went to John. Because he was getting to the point where he was pretty much breaking that elite status where he was going to be an Aceto or a Milos or a Farah or something like that. He was right there, right? So Brett Wilkins left Hostel, huh?
Oh yeah. I think it was just announced yesterday.
Yeah, something like that. Yesterday. Yeah, a friend of mine told me. Any reason why, or just a business?
Honestly, I don't know. I mean, literally, I heard the news the same way everybody heard it online. And
okay.
That was it. So I didn't. As a bunch of these, I'm like, look, none of my business. I don't want to pry into it.
Yeah, right.
I just literally hear the same thing that goes on social media. The same thing I pick up on and go, I didn't do that.
Yeah, exactly. So one more question, dude, and I'm gonna let you go.
Yeah.
What did you eat after the Arnold?
Man, we had pizza, ice cream, burgers. Oh man, I went to town. I definitely went to town. And the thing is, remember, I only had that one night to really splurge myself, because I had to all of a sudden the next day be on the cardio for Boston. So didn't really have. So it was like, okay, go to town. Let's go find some food.
Right.
The pizzas, the Ben and Jerry ice creams, the burgers, I was like, yeah, okay, 5 Guys, all that, just throw it all in there. I stuffed my place as much as I could.
Yeah, I hear you, bro. I hear you, man. It's definitely I don't know, it kind of tastes better after you're done dieting for a show.
Oh yeah. It's almost like a victory burger slap. Like,
that's right. Yeah.
Deserve this. Yeah, this is coming in. So no, I definitely enjoyed it, man. I mean, especially after that. You're feeling over the moon anyway. So when you go out from that moment, you just feel like, you feel great, man. You feel like, I really want to enjoy this. And you just feel like, oh yeah, I deserve this one. Now I can have this finally.
Oh, did you buy yourself anything? Because you won a lot of money. Did you buy any toy for yourself or anything?
I'm still waiting.
You're still waiting for the money?
Honestly, because what happened was basically, the day we flew into Boston was my birthday.
Yeah.
So the whole Boston Pro was what happened on my birthday. And I was like, you know what? Well, once that's all done and I'm back home, I'm gonna celebrate it later. So you know what? I got some little something coming up that I'm like, that's definitely gonna be my birthday present for this year. Especially the way you see it started already. I'm like,
Oh, definitely.
Definitely gotta be something. Definitely gotta get a birthday present for
all right, good, man. And happy belated birthday, brother.
Thanks, man. Thanks.
So Olympia, and then next year you're going for the W at the Arnold.
Oh yeah. Right now, as far as I can see, that's the plan. I literally want to do the Arnold again because it's the best show I've ever done. I haven't done the Olympia yet, but Arnold's just been whoa. It's been like, I've never experienced that before. So definitely want to do the Arnold again next year. So the plan will be Olympia, and we come back at the Arnold, baby.
Yeah, now you heard it. You heard it here on my channel, Serious and Silliness. It is the 22nd?
Yeah, 22nd.
March 22nd, 2022. By next year, the next year's Arnold Classic, Samson Dauda will be the winner. He will be the victor.
Oh man,
I would guarantee it.
Oh, that would be amazing, man. That would be definitely.
And then you're gonna come back, and I'm gonna be like, "See, I said it 3 years ago."
Actually, we gotta remember this. We gotta remember this moment now. We're like,
that's right.
You remember a year ago?
Yeah, that's right.
I'm like, oh yeah,
that's right. That. No question, absolutely.
That's cool.
Brother, I just want to thank you, and I know I told you off the air, but you were my first interview, my first Elite Pro interview, and because of that interview I did, when other bodybuilders saw it, they knew I wasn't any nonsense, and that opened the door for so many other guys. I mean, I've had King Kamali, Dave Palumbo, Jason Arns, Jose Raymond, Sean Clarita, Akeem Williams. I mean, you go down the list. Oh, I had Paul Lazan. You just go down. Oh, Guy Sistanino. But you were the first, and you opened the door for me. And I am so grateful for that. Thank you very much,
I
sir.
appreciate it, man. I love seeing you grow, man. I always see when you get the post on when you interview new guys and go, wow, you pick out some good names on there. So definitely, man, keep it going. But that was absolutely great, man.
Thanks a lot, brother. All right, I'm going to let you go. Enjoy the rest of your night, man.
All right, you too, man. Thank you very much, man.
You got it.
Thanks, man.